Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews. I'm Judith and you're watching another What I'm Reading Right Now video here on the channel. This is the series where I talk about what I have been reading, what I'm currently reading, and what I shall be reading next. It has been a couple of weeks since last we spoke, and I haven't read very much, and that's fine. I don't know if you'll be able to tell from my husky tones, but I'm recovering from being not very well. Everything just really got me, and I got a little bit of a cough, and I'm currently in a state where if I'm not drinking a cup of tea at all times, I will be hacking up a lung. So bear with me. We're going to do a bit of a state of play. I have read a couple of things I want to talk about, and we'll see where we get to by the end of the video, but it might not be a long one. I'm warning you now. I feel like whenever I say that, it's either the longest video in the world or 5 minutes, and we'll see where we end up. We don't need to scream and yell. We really don't. Shh. It's time for you to be quiet and for me to film. I don't know why you're honking now. You've been quiet all morning. First thing I finished, both of these were audiobooks, but the first thing I finished was Paladin's Hope by T. Kingfisher. This is the third book in the Saint of Steel series. Just confirming for anyone who didn't already know, we aren't immediately jumping into book 4. We've done a little switcheroo so that people can do the audiobook when that comes out, because most people have been listening to these by audio. The next T. Kingfisher is actually Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking that we are reading. Don't worry about it too much. If you're not following along with that, it doesn't matter. But if you are, that's a piece of information for you. Paladin's Hope. I really liked it. This is the first gay book of the series. We have two men. We have a paladin, obviously, because that's the concept of the series, and we have a lich doctor, which is kind of like a mortician in this world. He's also a wonder worker. He can experience the last minutes of someone's, or the last moments of someone's life if he touches their body. I thought this was really lovely. As with all of them, I continue my is now the best time to be thinking these spicy thoughts theme, but I think that is just the genre, right? That's what it is. It's fine. Once again, T. Kingfisher does horror really well. This is sort of a almost dungeon crawl story that's going on, which was very good fun. I liked a lot of elements of this. I thought it was a really solid addition to the series. I still think book 1 is my favourite of them all so far, but we'll see how we get on with book 4 when we eventually get to it. I'm actually really glad that we started out with this series because I think it is very quintessential T. Kingfisher. I think it's got a lot of her horror, it's got a lot of her romance. It's a good time for those reasons. We'll see how people feel about moving into the YA with Wizard's Guide. We shall see. Which means that the only book I finished in March, which seems not correct. I think that is correct, but I'm not 100% sure. It feels wrong. But the only book I've recorded myself finishing in March is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and what a book to have finished. This was a reread. I did it by audiobook. I think I'm going to do the whole series by audio. In fact, at the moment, assume if I'm reading it, I'm doing it by audio because nothing else is working for me. I really love this. It's such a great story. It takes place in a world where there is the concept of a fifth season. A season is sort of effectively a natural disaster. The world keeps ending, and obviously people are left at the end of it and they survive and they talk about what happened. But there is this real sense of communities trying to survive in a very dangerous environment, and we have this idea of origins or origines. I've never been quite sure, and I listened to it on the audiobook and I still can't remember the pronunciation. Terrible of me. Who can essentially control Earth and control the tremors of the Earth, and our main character, or one of our main characters, is one. Basically, we follow 3 different threads of the story. We have a child who is rescued, very big quotes, rescued, and taken to a place where they train origins. We have a adult who is on a journey with a much more skilled origin to try and solve a problem in a community. And we have a woman who is on the search for her husband and her daughter after her husband kills her son. It's very dark in places. I know that the latter books get even more so. It's really interesting. I read this originally many, many years ago when I hadn't read a lot of adult fantasy and when I hadn't read any N.K. Jemisin. And now having read so much more and absorbed so much more, I'm a very different reader, but I still love these books and I think I appreciate them even more now. And I think it helps to not have them contrasting with all of the YA that I was reading at that period of time. It's really interesting to read them sort of on their own and for their own merit. Would I recommend reading the 5th season? 100%. Yes, absolutely. It's so good. I love the 5th season. I'm really excited to read the other 2 books, mostly because I don't remember what happens in them. So it's an exciting thing for me where it's a reread, but it's not really. It's sort of like almost a fresh read. Very nearly fresh read. I'm loving it. I do own them physically, and I bought them physically since deciding to do the reread, and now that I'm thinking about buying the audiobooks as well, that feels a bit silly, but I think it's the way I'm going to enjoy them the most, and I'm trying to prioritise enjoyment of reading at the moment. The other thing I am currently reading, I am 11% of the way through The Spear Cuts Through Water, which is being released in the UK through Solaris Publishing. I tend to only like the things that they buy in, so I'm glad to be reading this. So far, 11% of the way through, I'm liking it. It feels different. I understand why other people have enjoyed it. I don't have enough meat to it that I can comment on it, broadly speaking, yet. I'm very much in the setup. It's a long book. It's over 500 pages. So I'm 50 pages in and not quite sure 100% what's happening. But I am enjoying it, and I will report back next week because I'm determined to finish it this week. In terms of other things I'm planning on reading, because I've had to make some big decisions about what I am and am not reading, right now my priorities are to read the things that I am, in big inverted commas because nobody's paying me, except my patrons, obligated to read. So I have review copies that I would like to get through. So Spear Cut Through Water is one of those. The other one is Dreadful by someone whose name I've forgotten, but the cover will be up on screen. So both of those I would really like to get read this week if I have time. And then also I should be reading, can pull it up, The Obelisk Gate, which is the second book in the Broken Earth trilogy by Jemisin. So I haven't actually DNF'd it on Storygraph yet because I hate DNFing things. It goes against, I know I should do it, but I don't like to do it. I'm still technically reading Never Have I Ever, therefore, but we're pretending I'm not. I am going to return my library book. I don't think I'm going to get to it. It's not a comment on the quality of the book. It's just what I'm prioritising right now. We are stripping back to basics here on Dead Good Book Reviews, at least for a little bit of time. I think I'm going to do strip back to basics, and then when I have space to read other things, I want to prioritise cozy, familiar rereads. Not necessarily cozy fantasy in that very specific genre way, but cozy rereads that feel good to me, that are gonna feed my soul in a lot of ways. I'm just thwacking the mannequin that is just out of frame. Terribly sorry. Yeah, that's my plan, anyway. And certainly it's going to be a lot of audio, and that's where we're at, and that's absolutely fine. I believe that The Spear Cuts Through Water, which I already mentioned, if you are looking for the UK release date, it is out on the 14th of March, which will have happened already by the time you're watching this. So if you would like to grab a copy and you're in the UK, you now can. Maybe if you want to, we could read it together if you're very, very speedy. I'm so sorry, I have my laptop in front of the microphone. If the audio was weird, then that's why. I am back in the swing of video production again. I took a little bit of a break just because I couldn't talk. There was no way for me to be able to film a video. I've got some horror reviews that are coming out. I've got some new release stuff that I really want to get edited and up for you. We're going to be talking about dragons, which feels very vintage here. And yeah, I want to just get back into loving filming again, and I'm definitely getting there. So bear with me while I get my life back on track and continue to do so. I feel like this is the year of ups and downs, for sure. And we shall see what these next ups have to bring, because we're definitely moving into a period of ups, and I hope that you are as well. Let me know what you've been reading, what you've been up to. I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. While you're commenting, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It makes me feel loved and appreciated. You can also come hang out on Discord, where we have chill chats about books. I'd like to say an enormous thank you to all the ghosts who haunt me over on Patreon. They support the channel and in return get early access to videos, bonus content, live streams, and more. If you'd like to join their number, that's linked below as well. Thank you so much to you for watching. That's all from me, and I will see you in the next one. It's gonna be some bloopers now. Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews. I'm Judith, and you're watching another... let me not kick that.